And what is going on today, YouTube? This is your boy FlyIslandGuy, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm testing out a fairly new mod for, or fairly new add-on, sorry, for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is FlightControlReplay. Now, as far as I know, this has been available for, I believe, P3D and FSX for a long while now, but now this software has been released for Microsoft Flight Simulator as well, Flight Simulator 2020, for those who have been itching for some sort of replay functionality. Alright, so first thing you notice when you load up the software is that you have this information usage window. Now, what I would advise from my personal experience is to read this very carefully, otherwise you're going to run into a bunch of issues when you're trying to do recordings. So I've found that this software has been pretty finicky for me, and I've only really started kind of getting smoother results when I take time out to look at this and kind of fix some of these issues. Specifically, the ones that you should really pay attention to is to disable plane crash detection, and also the option here, be sure to press ready to fly button in Microsoft Flight Simulator before playing an FCR recorded flight, because I've seen that sort of cause some issues as well. So make sure you read through this before you actually get started, and let's hop into the actual software itself. So the version that I'm using is 4.5.210.2.26, and one of the first things that you have to make sure is that you're actually launching the correct version for your simulator. So if you go to the actual folder itself, there's two versions, one for P3D and one for FSX, I believe, and the other one here is for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So make sure you launch this version. And another word of advice, I was having issues with my recordings weren't being saved. So after playing around with it for about an hour or so, I came back and I actually read the forum for people who are also having this issue, and the developer recommended that you come into the properties for the executable and run this program as an administrator, and then you should be able to actually save. Now, I don't know why you'd actually should have to do this. If you are most of us are already administrators on our machines, so not sure why this would be why we have to check this. But if you run into the issue where you're not saving your recordings, then that's what's happening there. You have the option. So actually, let's just go through the different menu items here. So you have the option to export, I believe, as Google Earth, or I don't know what the other option was, Google Maps, like a Google Earth or Google Maps file. So that's actually an option in the, I believe it's an option in the options menu, but I think what this is trying to say here is only if you've loaded an actual flight. One of the other things to look out for is that I don't think the developer's first language is English, so a lot of these kind of instructions and the way it's worded in the grammar is a little bit off, so you might find it you might have to take a second to really try and understand what they're saying. It's not bad, but like it is definitely noticeable, so just keep note of that. So I've gone into the options menu now. You have the option to basically assign hotkeys here, and these are just kind of the important ones that I think you should take a look at. You could choose your sample rate. I believe like automatic is probably the best setting, but if for some reason you need a specific sample rate, you can come in here and choose like when you want it to happen. I think this frame per seconds option is like a custom one. So they have every 4 seconds, 6 times a second, or you could kind of put in what you want. You have the option to set your flight path. Your recording path. I just kind of left the default to what's there, but you can kind of put in whatever you want. So here's that export option I was telling you about. I just left it unchecked because I don't think I'll be using that. And then this is an option. If you look in that notice that just came up, they tell you that you need to have this enabled. I believe if you want to be able to have AI aircraft or like real world traffic in your playbacks, but if you don't, you have to uncheck it. Or if you don't need them, you can uncheck it, because I think it must cause issues if you don't have it checked and you have those on. So that's kind of the main things that are inside here. You could also add text to your recordings, and this is kind of the time that the text will display. If you're one of those people who want to like do formation flying when you record, you have the option to kind of set your ghost aircraft in here, and you can kind of put in the telemetry or whatever you want to call it for where you want those aircraft to show up in formation. And the load option here that's giving you the ability to actually like load your flights. So I have a bunch here that I've been kind of playing around with. So if you hit load, then like this is the default location where they're supposed to be saved. These are just kind of previous recorded flights that I had. Like wherever your file location is where you want them to save, you should be going there to load your flights. You also have the options here to record video, and then there's also an instant replay feature where if you select this, you have the option to go back for 2 minutes in your flight. So let's say you did a bad landing, something that I'm very familiar with. You have the option to select replay mode and go back 2 minutes and like redo the flight again. Redo the landing again. That sort of thing. But that's a pretty cool feature. So outside of that, man, like that's kind of like a lot of the functionality that you have. There's also some more functionality after you've recorded a flight and you're playing it back, which I'll show you those options really quick. But for now, let's just do a quick takeoff, and we'll record that, and then I'll just kind of show you how simple it is to record something. So let's go. We are going to just basically hit record now, and that's it. We've started recording, and let's just do the takeoff. So I'm going to turn off my parking brake or disengage it, and let's just take off. So we're up.
Altitude.
Gear up. Actually don't know if my gear went up. Alright. Now I've raised them. So let's just do a left turn. I like to look out the window when I turn left, or whichever direction I'm turning. So we're not doing any proper flying just now.
You are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Alright. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's all the recording that I want to do. So what I'll do is I will just end the recording now. Boom. So now you can see recording stopped. Now, what I will recommend is that you...
Cessna 932, did you hear my last transmission?
What I recommend is that you actually end the flight and or restart it before you actually try and load your recording, just because I've just seen a bunch of weird issues if you don't do that. So I'd say focus on doing the actual flight. Do your flight one time, record it, or kind of, record and stop the sections that you want as you go along. And then once you're done, just come back, reload the flight when you're finished, and then kind of go through and load your recordings that way. So I'm going to go and do restart now. This is what I've seen. This is what works best for me. I don't know if I'm 100% doing it right. Probably not, but anything else that I've tried to this point has kind of caused like weird issues. So I'm going to do now. I'm going to hit ready to fly. Okay, and so now from the menu, I'm going to hit load, and then I'm going to choose the latest flight recording. That's the one that I just did. So you can see all the flight recordings I've been playing around with all this time. So let's load this one and let's see what happens. Okay, so I've loaded it, and so one of the weird things is that I wish this would like change to flight loaded or something like that, so you could actually see what's going on, but it doesn't say that. So the only reason I know that it's loaded now is because this title up top has changed to the name of the file. So from there, all you do now is just hit play. Okay. So as you can see, it's playing it. And we can change the different angles if you want. So right now this is us just watching the recording. Right. You can change camera angles if you want.
Altitude.
So we've taken off. I was trying to raise my gear, but I wasn't actually focused. So it's going to take a while for the gear to go up. But eventually we end up raising the gear. There it goes. Alright, and then we're starting our left turn. flying, we're still flying. And then I think we eventually kind of do a right turn and then it cuts off. Yeah. Okay. So this is all the recording. And when it hits the end, it's just going to go back to the start. But
500.
you can skip ahead. I find that you kind of have to stop it and then move it to where you want. Which is a little annoying. I kind of had a problem moving it around. Okay, so now I can do it.
Minimum.
If you try and move it while it's playing, it doesn't work, which I love to be able to do. So while it's in replay mode, you also have the option to open this, and you could actually kind of change the camera angle. So let's say you want to switch to a different view and you do the rotate. You can come inside here and you can choose it like wherever you are in the frame, and then your playback will automatically switch to those camera modes. And you could also add text at certain keyframes as well. So there's a fair amount of functionality inside here. So I like it. That's pretty good. It's going to take a little getting used to, as I said, but you have it. You have those here at your disposal. That's pretty cool that I can still interact with the cockpit as well during the replay. Okay, so we're back at the world map right now, kind of the main landing screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually record a full flight. And so we're going to do a quick flight from here in Grand Bahama over to Opelika Executive in I think it's in Miami, and we're going to record that, and then we're just going to try and create a little cool recording and see what that looks like. All right, so from now on, pretty much from this point on, like anything that you're going to see is going to be what was recorded from the FS2020 software. All right, so enjoy the recording, and I'd love to see anyone else who's tried it. Let me know what you guys think, and see if have you had any issues with it, or is it working out for you? I'd love to know. So this is your boy FlyIslandGuy, and I'll talk to you later. Enjoy the video. So I forgot to add, this software is available in Flight Sim Market for 15 euros, which is about 18 US dollars. I know there's other options out there, but this is the one that I've tried so far, and it's meeting my needs. So let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious. Hope you guys enjoyed the recording as well, and I will talk to you in my next video. This is FlyIslandGuy. I'm out. Peace.